Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video. In this video is going to be a Halloween nail set. I wanted to make sure I got one up because I know I haven't been posted in like 3 weeks. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the end so you can see the final look. So from my previous video, I prepped this hand, but I didn't put any nails on it. So I pushed back my cuticles, and then I used my Pana 180 grit file, and I used the 180 side, and I buffed off my base coat that I had down. And then I'm going to use my cuticle nail bits from Kiara Sky, of course. All my drills, most of the drills that I'm using is from Kiara Sky. It comes in a collection, and it will be linked down below. And then this one that I'm using is from Shein, which I did in my Shein nail haul, so you guys can also check that out as well. Now I'm going to take my fine grit Makartt sanding band, and I'm going to further push back the cuticles. This just helps. For me, I think this part is necessary. You could have done this step instead of using that Pana file, but you know, I like to take extra steps for no reason. My drill is also at about 6,000 to 7,000 RPM. Now I'm going to take the smallest cuticle ball bit that I have, and I'm going to lift up the dead cuticle skin. And I like to do this before I actually cut my cuticles, because if I just go in with my scissors, sometimes I might actually cut too far down, and this just helps me see the actual dead skin that I need to cut. But you could also not do the scissors and then just like maybe use a bigger cuticle ball bit, because I have 3 sizes. So use that medium size one and just keep sanding until you have all the dead skin gone. And you want to make sure you use that bit on your skin, not your nail. Okay, so I took out some Kiara Sky glitter. This one is Black Ice. Then I have some stars from Amazon. Next, I have these glitters from Sets Nail Co. This is her Halloween collection. Next, I have Makartt Polygel in Siesta and in Mocha. And then I also have it in Ash Rose. Next, I have the Eevee's Clear Patty Gel for encapsulation. Then I have Makartt's Amazing White and Black Gel Polish. I have some of their colors, gel polish from their secondary line, Awesome Color. And then I have Sets Nail Co. tips and some more gel polishes. And the ones that I actually used was the orange one. I didn't need those 2 reds because I didn't like the design. So you don't actually need those 2. Alright, so now I'm going to use those tips from Sets Nail Co. and I'm sizing them out. And when I was gluing them on, for some reason I grabbed the wrong tip for my index finger, and it was giving me a lot of trouble, which is so weird. But I got them glued on. So, and I also am using Makartt's nail glue, which is also amazing. Okay, now that that's finally over, I'm going to use my false nail clippers that I got on Amazon, and I'm going to trim these down a little bit. I actually trimmed these down a little bit more than what I'm showing here because I wanted these to be pretty functional. And as you can see, I'm measuring them to make sure that everything is the same length. All right, now of course I'm going to use my Tammy Taylor peeling stick file in the grit 100, and I'm going to start shaping these up, making these more coffin, I would say, even though it's not too tapered in, which is what I wanted. But I'm also going to be making sure that these are flush to my natural nail. So I'm going to be filing that over as well. Now I'm going to take that same fine grit sanding band from Makartt, and I'm going to take the shine off the tip. Alright, so I am going to take my Ash Rose Polygel, and I'm going to put this on my pinky nail, and I'm going to do it as a smile, or the natural nail part of a French nail. I don't know what it's called, but I wanted to do the Ash Rose instead of a nude color because I wanted to put black on top, and I also put that Ash Rose on my thumb. So for my thumb and for my pinky nail, I'm going to be using the 2-bead method. You guys know that I love this method, so that's what I'm doing right here. Now for the 2-bead method, you will put your first bead down around the same area you will put your tip, and you will basically just drag that part all the way down to the tip of the nail, making sure you get polygel all over the nail. And then that first bead is the bead where you're not really thinking about your apex or anything like that. The second bead is your cuticle bead, and this is the bead that you will be thinking about your apex. So you would get your cuticles all perfect the way that they should be looking. Making sure you don't cure no polygel on your skin, of course, and then you will be focusing on your apex. So I like to just drag the polygel down on the sides instead of dragging the polygel down from the middle. Just drag the polygel from the sides down. I hope that makes sense. And then you will drag the rest of the polygel to the tip of the nail, making sure that everything is flush and it's all blended well, which is what I'm doing right now. And if you feel like you still don't really have that good apex that you want, you will use your brush, and you will brush your brush from the tip of the nail towards your cuticle, if that makes any sense. And the brush that I'm using is the number 8 Presents Kolinsky brush on Amazon, which is very affordable. I recommend. This is basically the only brush that I use. I use it for cleanup, for everything. So I highly recommend. All right, so now I'm doing my extended nail bed. That's what I was looking for earlier when I was trying to figure out what I'm talking about. But yeah, I kind of wish that I would have used the nude color as my extended nail bed. Like how I did my middle finger and my ring finger. But, you know, I still like it because it still looks comic booky. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to start doing my thumb. And like I said earlier, I like to do the 2-bead method. But I did forget to say that you need to make sure that you ombre that polygel, like make it flatter, like ombre it, so that when you put the second bead of polygel on there, it's like a smooth transition. So yeah, you see how like that looks like a good ombre. Like I should have did ombres because that's what I need to work on anyway. And for some reason, like I don't know if it's my alcohol or what it is, but when I cure my polygel, it leaves like little bubbles or like little droplets of alcohol or something. And I don't know if my brush be too wet or what it is, but you know, I'm still like learning as well. So if any of y'all know what I need to be doing to not have that polygel, for my polygel to look like that after I cure it. Like, I don't know if y'all can see what I'm talking about, but I'll try to like zoom in on it after I cure it because it's definitely on one of my fingers for sure. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. I have a big piece of hair, but just ignore it. Do you see how it's like bubbles or like raindrops or something? I don't know what it is. So can somebody tell me how to prevent that? And when I wipe it with the alcohol like is cured into the polygel. Like these little dimples is cured into the polygel, and I don't know what it is. All right, but moving on, I'm going to be doing the 2 glitter nails, and I'm going to be using a base gel that I have specifically for glitter. So I'm going to start off with my 2 black glitters, and my base gel is still wet right now. And then I'm going to start doing the purple and the orange. And I'm also going to be adding those little sparkle star glitter things. So I told you that this was a freestyle. So when I was doing this, I was like, ooh, let me do some of those little cuticle glitters and then have the glitter peeking through the nude. So that was my idea, and I love how it came out, even though I did kind of foul into the purple glitter. And I was like, ooh, maybe I should do one of the nails purple and one of the nails orange. And this was the point where I started getting the creativity was rumbling, and I was like, ooh, now I'm getting my nail set together because I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, I started incorporating more of the orange. But I did put these glitters on with 2 layers. So I put that first layer of base coat, and then I put the black and the orange down first, and then I noticed that the purple wasn't sticking, so I cured that. Then I added more base gel, and I added the purple and some more of those stars. And the stars I really only added towards the tip of the nail because I knew that they was going to be more prominent around the tip of the nail instead of the rest of the nail because it's going to be covered up with the new polygel. Okay, so now that the glitter is all cured, I was trying to decide which polygel I wanted to use. I ended up doing a siesta because it's really cute. That was really, I mean, but no, seriously, the A siesta is like the perfect nude. And as from what I've seen, the perfect nude for any skin tone. And the mocha color is more of like it's exactly my skin tone. So I wanted that kind of contrast between my skin tone and the polygel. But I feel like if I would have put the mocha color onto the nail next to the glitters, it would have been too dark. So I didn't want to take that chance and then really have to do it or redo it. It's kind of late, y'all, so also, if you guys see any type of like marker on my skin, it's because my daughter, well, I gave my daughter her markers and she made a mess. Like, they're non-toxic markers and they're washable, but she loves lip gloss. So put two and two together. And she had the red one. So she knew what she was doing. But yeah, I had to keep cleaning her up in between nails. So that's why you will see green on my hand and a whole bunch of other colors on my other hand. Also, when doing this step, when you're adding this nude on here, you don't need to focus on your apex because you're going to be encapsulating. So right here is kind of a lot of polygel. So it's kind of a lot of the nude polygel. I didn't really need that much, but it's on there. So as you see, I'm dragging it down. I'm probably going to end up having to cut some of that off. Okay, well, I didn't end up cutting it off, but I did like how on my ring finger, you can still see some of the star poking out of the nude, or it was like been blended into the nude really cutely. So I decided to add a little one or two on the middle finger, which I ended up covering anyway. I always do that. But now we're going to be encapsulating with Evie's, aka Long Hair Pretty Nails, clear patty gel. Okay, I've been talking a lot, so I'm just going to let you guys watch the encapsulation on these two nails, and I will be back. Okay, now that the polygel is cured, I'm going to use some alcohol and I'm going to rub that sticky layer off. With these two fingers, I was trying my hardest to keep my brush dry and to not get those little alcohol dimples. I don't know what it is. Because the nails are clear, and I learned from my last set, that fall set, that those bubbles, dimples, or whatever, once you file them, it makes your clear not clear anymore. And with this extended nail bed, because I also don't be doing these a lot, I made it extra thick, and I'm not gonna say it was hard to file, but I have a small case of OCD, so it took me a good 20 minutes just to make this perfect like how I want to, which was not needed because I ended up drawing over it with the black outline. But now we're going to start with the nail art. So I took some purple and some blue because that purple was not the color that I wanted it to be. I wanted it to kind of match the purple glitter, which it kind of wasn't, but like it was like, I don't know, it was still dull enough to give off a Halloween color. So my first attempt, I put too much blue, so it didn't come out like how I liked it. So I did it again, and then I added a small amount of blue, and then I used a darker purple, more on the redder side, and this made it that dull purple that's on my nails. So I wanted to keep this in because I feel like it shows my trial and error. I also added a little teensy weensy bit of black, which in my opinion didn't really do nothing, but I didn't want to add more and then have to do it all over again because I messed it up, so I just left it. Now I'm going to outline my smile line with that purple, and I'm going to make sure I put this purple polish on the entire wall of the nail bed. Like there should be a wall separating from the polygel, and then it's a wall, and then your tip. I just drew that out in the air. You guys couldn't see it, but you guys also can't see this, which is me putting on the black glitters. I think most of the glitters in this nail is the Kira Sky Black Ice. And I wanted this nail purposely to be more on the black side. And I added, just to give a little bit more razzle dazzle, some more of those purple reflective stars that I got from Amazon. So yeah, that was my thinking. I wanted this to purposely be more of a black glitter French nail. Okay, now we're about to shape these bad boys. So I'm going to be using the small barrel, which I never use, the small barrel medium grit bit from Kira Sky in the same collection. And I actually like this bit. I will say one thing though, because I'm not experienced with this bit. I mean, experienced with a drill altogether. I did cut myself, and that's pretty rare for me. So, yeah, maybe that just means I need a little bit more practice with this bit. So, I like to use my drill to kind of really taper in my sides, especially when I'm doing square nails. So I basically just take my bit, and it's on about like I want to say about a 9 to 10,000 RPM, so a little bit faster than me normally doing my nails. So yeah, I just take the bit and I just go across the sides, and I like to turn my nail upside down because I feel like if you could see the polygel over your nail tip, your false nail tip, then that means you need to cut that down. It's too much polygel on the sides. So like if you can see your nail tip just a little tad bit, that's fine. Your nail is shaped really good. So I'll flip my nail over. As you can see, I was really like comfortable with this bit. Even though I did cut my pinky cuticle, I was comfortable with this bit because I rarely try to go on the top of my nails vertically like how I'm doing. So I was like, when I was doing that, I was shocked that I'm doing this because it usually like my drill will skip, or then I just quit. Like I started getting nervous. So yeah, I like this bit. Yeah, for that part. But my cuticles, I ended up switching over to the taper bit, the fine grit taper bit, to finish off my cuticles, because once I hit that pinky nail, yeah, that was over. I had to take it off. I had to switch. So I did buff my nails off camera. You guys know that I love to do the little TikTok nail hack where you put the cuticle oil on your whole nail, so the actual nail and everything, and then you rub it in. You use your buffer. The one that I got is from Shein. I kind of don't like them because the grit, like I feel like every set I have to get a new one. But besides that, your nails will come out super smooth, which is what you want for nail art. So I got my black gel polish from Makartt, and I did a full paint job over my thumb and my pinky nail. So these two nails were first going to be like little bone fingers, like skulls, not skulls, but skeleton fingers, skeleton bones, you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And it was going to have little drips on the bones. You guys will see. But I ended up didn't liking it because, well, for one, it wasn't really matching the pop art nail trend that I was trying to do. And for two, it was hard, like, and then the little sponge that I was using had lint all in it, and I was getting slightly annoyed. But I took it off in the end. You will still see it during the video, so like just don't mind it. All right, so right now I am outlining my French tip in black, like the pop art trend. So when you're doing the side lines, you want to constantly look at your nail, just looking at it regular, so that you'll be able to actually see the black line. So you need to continuously keep moving that line on the side inward until you can actually see it when you're looking at it just regular. And then I didn't record it here, but I did it. I outlined around the cuticle and I made the black line thicker. So right now I am doing the highlights, or the reflective light, the glare, I don't know what to call it, but I'm using my Poochie's Nails nail art brush. And this, I don't think I had to trim the hairs, so this brush is really thin, so I was concentrating really hard on getting this thin white line, and that's why I'm out of frame. But yeah, I ended up getting it, and I also ended up putting some orange on there to bring out more of the orange color. I told you guys I liked how the orange was coming out. So I included it a little bit more. Okay, so I did the line, the little swoop line at the cuticle, and I did that thing on a first try. Y'all didn't get to see it, of course, but I also did a little diagonal. I don't know if you're supposed to do it like that because I didn't have any references, but that's what I did, and I also did it like that with my thumb. Now I'm going to be doing these little stripes, and I love how this nail came out. So I'm using the same purple color that I mixed earlier, and I'm just going to be using that same Poochie's Nails nail art brush, and I'm going to be doing this as straight as I can. I ended up cleaning it up off camera, so I will come back and show you guys how it look. All right, so here's how it's looking. Now I'm going to do some orange blood drips, or maybe it's like goo. Like, that sounds nasty, but this is what I was going with, like little pumpkin goo. But I like how the orange is kind of see-through. Like, you can see the little pinstripes in between the orange because it's just giving off like streaky, like how blood is or how goo is. So to do these, you use your dotting tool. You put 3 little dots in different places, and then you just take your nail art brush. These brushes are from Amazon. I did trim a couple of them. I did cut a little bit of the hairs to make them thinner, but yeah, you just fill it in. Yeah, it's really that simple. And I also did 2 layers of this orange color. So now I'm going to start with the jack-o'-lantern, and these are supposed to be like cherries. Remember the cherries that I did in my nail art? It was like one of my first videos. So I basically redeemed myself with those, but Halloween version, and I'm very happy with it. But yeah, you will do a shape of a cherry / a pumpkin. You just make the end, the bottom of it, more flatter. And I decided to use a dotting tool because it fills in the surface more, and I'm showing you a comparison right here. You see how long that's taking? No. So I switched over and I kind of globbed the gel polish on there because the orange is so thin, like it's streaky. So like you can tell the difference between my ring finger where I globbed the gel polish on there and my middle finger and I didn't glob the gel polish on there. Like you can tell the difference even with the second coat. So I recommend using the dotting tool and just literally scooping it and dabbing it and putting it, spreading it onto the nail. So now I'm going to be starting the face of the jack-o'-lantern, and I had a reference. I looked up jack-o'-lanterns on Google, and this is what came. This is one of them. This was the most interesting, but it wasn't too crazy where this is a small surface, so I wasn't trying to be doing too much. But when I kept looking at it, I was like, This kind of reminds me of the Pumpkin King, Jack Skellington from, what is it, The Nightmare Before Christmas? And fun fact, I do not remember watching that movie. So now I'm going to be doing the line art for the pumpkin. So I'm going to be doing these lines thick, like kind of thick, like how I did the pop art finger, the index finger, because this is the pop art for these two fingers. So I'm going to be putting the black outline, and on the stem I'm going to be having some white highlight, the light glare, whatever you want to call it. And I only show one finger because I drew both the pumpkins the same way. So now I'm going to do the outline for my orange goo, and this was slightly difficult because the line art was so, like, you needed it to be thin, but you also wanted it to be pigmented. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want it to be like a faded black where it's streaking as you're trying to do this thin line art. So I feel like that was my main problem with this nail, but you know, I overcame, and this is my favorite nail. So I cleaned it up a little bit, and I was trying to figure out, that looks cute, but I thought the whites would stand out a little bit more. So I did a white highlight on my orange, and it looks so cute. And now, when doing this design, like, where am I supposed to put the highlights? Like, where is the light coming from? Am I supposed to do that on all of the fingers? I had questions, but I'm trying to do nails without having inspiration pictures, so be my own creative mind. And then I also did that black highlight on my ring finger, and I did not like it. Okay, so I have my Poochie's Nails matte top coat, of course, and then I have my regular Makartt top coat. I know for sure that I wanted matte on my pinky nail and my thumb. And then I was like, let's see what this looks like shiny. Let me see what the pumpkin looks like shiny, because I didn't know if I wanted the pumpkins to be matte. But I feel like because it had the comic book highlights or whatever on there, it should have been matte. So I took the matte and I put it on a palette, and I used my nail art brush, of course, and I made just the pumpkin and the stems matte. And I also did this with my index finger, my pointer finger. I did anything that had pop art matte. So I did the nail bed, I did the black, I did the white glares and the orange glares, all matte, and everything else was shiny. So basically anything with glitter was shiny. Alright, so now that everything is cured, I am going to take my deliciously smelling V-nailed it cuticle oil, and I'm going to rub it all in, and here's the final look. Oh my god, it looks so cute. I love them. I told you guys I was going to start giving myself ratings, and I'm going to give myself a 9 out of 10. I do feel like there's some things I could have worked on, but I love how these came out. Please make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and watch my other videos, of course. I will try to upload more, you guys. Just bear with me. This set is cute. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.